Hey guys, welcome to Ask Truth Apologetics. I'm here to show you a brief video from the UN talking about some of the war crimes that have been happening in the Israeli-Palestinian and Gaza Strip slash Hamas conflict. So before we get that thing started, I want us all to remember a couple of things. One, we are all made in the image of God. Friendly enemy, we are supposed to pray for those who persecute us, and we're supposed to pray for peace. And I hope that this is not taken in a way to say that we dislike Palestinians as people. This is not a racial thing. This is just a facts-based statement. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and watch the video.
Appalling events in Gaza and the occupied Palestinian territories have once again called this council into a special session. Israeli attacks resulted in extensive civilian death and injuries, as well as large-scale destruction and damage to civilian objects. Such attacks may constitute war crimes.
Perpetrating crimes, expanding its colonialism, apartheid from the river to the sea. This hell has a name. It is called the Israeli occupation and its crimes.
Relentless onslaught on their rights and dignity.
Legally baseless and morally inhuman.
Colonial and apartheid based on terror, harassment and discrimination.
I give the floor to United Nations Watch.
Madam President, the United Nations was founded to prevent war, yet today's one-sided session and the predetermined investigation it proposes will achieve the opposite because they were the very purpose of this war. The purpose of Hamas, backed by the Islamic Republic of Iran, was to attack Israeli cities from within populated areas in Gaza, to incur civilian casualties and exploit the suffering of their own people in order to delegitimize Israel here at the UN, in international courts, and the media. A Council for Human Rights ought to condemn what Hamas is doing. Why then does today's resolution fail to mention that Hamas started this war, firing over 4,000 rockets that deliberately targeted civilians across Israel, and that the rockets were launched from civilian areas such that each attack constitutes a double war crime? Why is there no mention that hundreds of millions of dollars of international aid money donated to help Gaza's poor population were diverted by Hamas to build 250 miles of terror tunnels? Why is there no mention that Hamas is recognized worldwide as a terrorist organization and that its founding charter openly calls for the genocide of Jews? Why is there no mention that on May 7th, at a rally in Gaza, a Hamas leader told Palestinians, quote, "We want you to cut off the heads of the Jews with knives"? Why is there no mention that in the past 2 weeks, Jewish people worldwide from London to LA were threatened, chased, and violently assaulted by pro-Palestinian protesters? Madam President, isn't the UN supposed to defend victims of terrorism and racism?
Okay, so after watching that, I want us to think about and recognize that there is a difference between the Hamas and the Gaza Strip Palestinians and the other Palestinians located in the more the West Bank area near Jerusalem. This does not excuse in any way, form, or fashion any kind of systematic racism or persecution by the Israelis towards any Palestinians. I am not condoning that at all, but I am condemning what Hamas has done and continues to do, and the intention that Hamas had behind firing those 4,070 rockets towards civilians in Israel. Everyone is made in the image of God. All mankind should have human rights and human dignity, and we ought to support peace, and we ought to support the upholding of God's law, no matter what, no matter who, no matter what the religion is. Thank you, guys. God bless you.